grind to balance your time. It's not easy working a day job and competing. It's not easy doing what we do, and we don't do nearly as much as they do.
No.
Not even close. To compare them would be a disservice. So these players, especially with the likes of Boss, we are singling out, really had to have props given their overall circumstance. But it sounds like the second time is the charm. Hopefully, maybe, as we are once again into the server. This time around, there's no technical pause. 2, 1. All right, it's too late. We're no going back. It's M80 on the CT side of their opponent's map pick, and we are live with the opening round of IEM Chengdu North American Close Qualifier. M80, the number 1 seed, versus Wildcard, the number 4, just qualifying the day prior. Wildcard, the T side of their map pick, slowly slink around in towards the lobby, wait for M80 to potentially make a move, but no such move will come through. Door now opened, and in towards A, Wildcard shall come. No one's on the site proper. Wildcard should get it for free, and it's going to be a crazy and chaotic retake. A 5 versus 5 retake as the bomb hits dirt.
A triple up ramp from M80 is a bold move, and they will initiate the retake now. Malbs leading the charge, and Vending Machine has a backstab opportunity on JBA. He peeks back in. Slide is also in hut with him. Can the first contact go the way of M80? It does, and the second contact. JBA and Sonic answering back, and JBA doubles down. Manx has found a second as well. Stanislaw, JBA versus Manx and Rek. Stand outside, Rek domed. It's all up to the in-game leader for M80 now. Kit, Smoke, Classic Ninja. He's got it, surely. Knife is out. Knife is late. Manx is still alive. He gets the finisher on JBA, and out of the chaos comes order and a round for M80.
There's a reason that I call 5 versus 5 10-man retakes chaotic, and that is one such reason. That is the exact reason. There's enough time, there's enough players alive, there's enough chaos being sown that a player can slip between the cracks and seize the day, and that is one such exact example. The round stolen away in a 1 versus 2 clutch by the IGL on the defuse, and M80 on the CT side, very lucky to emerge victorious in the pistol round.
M80, they had the kit to the smoke and the IGL up in heaven. I had a feeling that was going to be an attempt, was have Manx drop down, smoke off that bomb, and go for a defuse. I feel like that was part of the contingency there for M80, and it worked out. I don't think that's necessarily something that you want to have the eventuality be, but it was a plan B in a sense, and it worked for M80. Another technical pause called. So we do delay the continuation of this. Well, we got one round of action there, and it came down to pure unadulterated chaos. It was a good idea, though, for Wildcard to go for that bit of a delay, get the 3 flashes raining in through the fence up top. It's a pretty classic A-pop there. You have your stragglers kind of go through, hold the back line. JBA did well to get the 2 kills. Matchmatic has been finished. Players are back in server, so hopefully not too long of a further delay. But Nate, the problem with letting the bomb go down is that you let the T side get a buy up in round 2.
A probable buy, but at least a half buy if they really want to wait for the rifles. But there should be Galils and armor on at least a couple of these Wildcard players if they're confident. It was a very interesting pistol round as well, might I add. Wildcard bided their time, enter into an abandoned A site. An A site retake not at all too uncommon, albeit a triple stack towards ramp and a subsequent push can be. But I really liked Wildcard's overall posturing after the fact. They met no resistance, so they immediately got into post plants. And their post plant was a complete abandonment and turn of the A site. No one on it. They played it in towards lobby. They had players towards hut, one inside and one peeking out into A site. They had a player in towards squeaky door. And I really liked the overall setup with Stanislaw as well, dividing the attention by holding towards mini. Overall, though, just can't quite work. Again, the chaos working against them as the ninja diffuse came through. We have, at long last, bought enough time. Nope, never mind. The match pause is reinstated. Caster's curse.
The more things change, another year goes by, and things stay the same, Nate.
What are the buys, though? We can at least glean something from that. We can look forward into round 2.
I don't...
by what these... Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're going to get another matchmatic.
But the buys are going to be the same for the most part. Of course, I'm going to go for 3 or 4 rifles.
Look at what Stanislaw has.
He's bought that now twice in a row.
Yes.
So it's going to happen.
This is not an accident, folks. This is not a drill.
Body Armor Pro 90 is going to be the play.
I don't know how I feel about that. A P90 play. especially without the helmet.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be wacky. But what more can you ask for? I think it's going to be a something that will work out better than you would expect. Of course, we are back to the desk for third time.
Yeah,
third time in one round. That's approaching the record for me, is what I'll say.
I think I'm there with you.
Yeah, I think this actually might be the record, if not tied for it. Of course, it seems like, it's been so long since tournaments have been run. They have been running for the past week or two, sure, but growing pains are to be expected, especially with the recent updates that Counter-Strike has been putting out. I don't know if you read the change log. The change log that was, what was it? Geometry on Vertigo? Was that it?
Yeah, geometry on Vertigo was changed.
That was the only change in the change log for yesterday. It might have been a change today. I don't know.
I don't think there has been an update today. Apparently, there's been a lot of stuff in the what is it called, where you have like all the pending updates and stuff. The updates to the whatchamacallit
test server or the test. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
some
beta,
sort of like some sort of bin. I'm forgetting the name, but there was a bunch of updates going on in there today. So
okay, so there's some speculation beginning to stir, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Speculation, some potential changes coming in the pipeline, but hopefully it doesn't mess with anything that's occurring now. Of course, we can only speculate. We have no idea what's going on in the back end. I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on in the back end. I have a degree in I have a Bachelor of Arts in science, so really doesn't help me there.
In fish science.
Yeah, well, that's the master's part. The Bachelor of Arts is just in biology.
Fair.
But the point is, I would not know what's going on in the back of a computer. I barely know how to build a computer. But I think we can finally talk about the game a little bit more. M80 versus Wildcard again. M80 stealing away the pistol round victory with a ninja defuse. Wildcard are going to invest. So we already know their investment's going to be weird as can be, given the fact that Stanislaw is buying a Pro 90. Probably Kevlar to back it up. There's going to be some Galils in the wings, I'm sure, as well, to round out a very balanced and normal investment from Wildcard. The question is, what is the play going to be? Where's the P90 going to go? It has to go quick. That's the only way that weapon really works. Either towards ramp as a spearhead, perhaps, or maybe a drop-down top mini might be the play. There's a
could also go for event drop with it.
Ooh, event drop could work, but it all depends on spawn for that one.
Yeah.
And if they're really hell-bent on getting the spawn, maybe they'll just match medic 10 more times. Who knows? However, only time will tell. Again, I want to see where that Pro 90 goes. I'm more intrigued than ever. I'm more excited than ever. We've been waiting. You said it's been over a month. We can actually do the math now because we are truly running out of things to say. It has been, the last broadcast we did was December 7th, I want to say, for
I want to say
ECL.
yes.
And it's now the 19th. So it's been 1 month and 12 days. That is a long time. So about a month and a half. And even though it has been a while, I don't think anything could have prepared us for the amount of time that we have to fill.
Yeah, I feel like it's been the desk for coming up on 30 minutes. I think our podcast has definitely prepared us for this moment, Nate. We just need to grab Laz and just run an episode live right here, live remote broadcast at the IEM Chengdu North American Closed Qualifier with M80 and Wildcard taking their sweet time to get started. I'm really curious as to what the issue is too, because it looked like we had a player disconnecting, which makes me think it's not a Counter-Strike problem at all. But that's just me.
You can only speculate. We can only speculate. It is at this point, as you mentioned, a veritable podcast. But also keep in mind, talked about it being a long time since we were broadcasting in general. It has been even longer since we've done a podcast, like half a year. So I'm definitely not prepared to fill that amount of time. With that said, though, it sounds like this issue is going to take longer rather than shorter. So we are finally going to send it to a break. You can finally take a break from our voices. When we return, we will have the continuation of this first map of M80 versus Wildcard. Stay tuned. We'll be back after a short or long break. We'll see.
I can't explain. I can't explain it. I go insane when we get naked. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show me love. Don't give up on us, don't give up on love. Don't give up on us, don't give up on love. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show me love. Don't give up on us, don't give up on us, don't give up on love. Don't give up on us, don't give up on us, don't give up on love. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show me love.
Well, we're back. We'll see how long we're back with actual action here. But it's Boggs and Pineapple Phillips with you on the microphone again. M80 with that ninja defuse from Manx, getting them the pistol round. And now we see no P90 for Stanislaw. Nate, we hyped up the P90, we hyped up the P90, and now it's gone. So maybe he thought better of it over the extended break with more match medics and who knows what else going on, probably server swaps and the like. But we're finally back to the action. It's two AKs, a Galil for the T side with a Tech 9 and a Deagle. Deagle glass cannon for Infinite. 3 M4A1s, a FAMAS, and an MP9 in the hands of Rek over on M80. And of course, that one defuse kit from Manx.
Match Medic must have shocked some sense into Stanislaw. And I, for one, hate to see that.
I'm glad we don't have a P90 personally, because I don't know how I would react if it got like 3 kills or something.
Classic streamer reaction. Slacks will be the one at bat, though. First outside. The lack of a helmet does him in. Aim points into Oblivion, only good for one. The second in towards the lockers fares no better. The AK drops, proving to be worth their weight in gold. JBA taking the Starlight in this one. It's found two and secured an advantage. Sonic fakes the ladder run up. No one, I think, is close enough to hear it. Wildcard are making the right play. Round the world they go. They've recovered. They've scrounged up some M4s for Sonic and Stanislaw, excuse me. And now they'll race in towards B. This is an empty site for the most part. Slight slinked down in through secret. He's cleared up the back lines. This is a very well played second round from Wildcard, showing us that they have tremendous proficiency on their map pick. Swisher, Manx, Rec kind of relegated, trying to hold over towards A. Now knowing the bomb is planted towards B instead, they're going to save their weapons for the next. Swisher and Manx, a pair of rifles, an M4 and a FAMAS. And Rec, looking to see if he can't find some sort of upgrade as well. Of course, there will be no such upgrade present. Both of those rifles on Slacks and Malbs recovered
There's a Galil.
by the Wildcard side. Oh, was there a Galil dropped? There was, you're right.
Yeah.
So Rec does at least get a Galil. That's
That'll
something,
help.
I suppose. Yeah.
It's better than an MP9 on a long-range duel. So I think he'll be happy with the Galil upgrade. Not as happy as it would have been with the A1S, but that'll be the case here for M80. As it was a good save call. I was hoping they wouldn't attempt a retake, given the lack of information in the positioning of Wildcard. Wildcard's full methodical clear that only we knew, that M80 didn't, of course. But that was a very good round from Wildcard and a good disciplined save from M80. And now we get into a very scrappy part of these early rounds where it's forced by half buys and money's not really stable for anybody just yet. Wildcard in a very good economic spot, though. They can get comfortable with that with a win here. Or even just a bomb plan can start sitting them up quite nicely moving forward. There's an MP9 on Minx and Slacks. The offer for M80 with a deagle in hand. A little bit of nade damage taken by Wildcard in the early going. And Swisher this time spraying through the smoke. Traces it back and Infinite removed. Not a good possibility for Infinite there, and not really much return damage either onto Swisher. Nade does more on a JBA, so good nade damage coming through from M80 as well. But still, plenty of opportunity for Wildcard to snag away around again. And I think a lot of it has to do with the player that's just slipped down secret in Sonic.
Yes, it does. A lot hinges on this play. Nice flank. Don't think he's been spotted either, so this is a big opportunity. Make a step that could have been heard, though. That's the question. There's a player all the way back in garage. It's Swisher rotating around. Might have gotten the information. Stannis on the meanwhile. Pop, open the door. Thinks those actually in towards Hut. Using this weapon to its strengths. I like the off angle though. Malbs, a double dink onto Slight. Deagle in the corner now can spring the trap. 1 and 2 with the spam and combined fire for Malbs. Sonic will try and activate a bit of a flank here, but the window's heard. They know he's here. And a 1 versus 5 is what lies in wait. He'll pass the first test, but takes so much damage, a critical amount in fact. Only 20 seconds left at this point. He's going to try to do damage before he finally falls. There should be no way he survives in this one. He spots the shadow of a second. That's an opportunity given to him, but Swisher catches him desperately trying to head for the hills. And is a second on the board for M80. Again, a critical opener, as you mentioned, from Swisher through the smoke to catch out Infinite.
Now, the 2 kills from Sonic do help thin out that CT economy very well. That's a good little silver lining for Wildcard here, as they're going to force into this one. Deagle, Tech 9, 3 AKs, a decent amount of utility, all things considered, and all players do have at least some form of armor. That nade outside is expected. Molotov down. And Slacks does have that AWP, so that will help out as well for M80's true form, in a sense. Swisher outside, takes a little bit of chip from the nade. Slacks there, backing him up from a coat room. Swisher, what can he do? Spams away. It's a little bit onto Infinite, but of all the players to hit, Infinite just seems to be the bullet magnet, and unlucky for him, but lucky for Wildcard, he did not have an AK.
Lucky for them, Swisher. Rotating around knows they probably crossed. This is well read from him, but his smoke's a little bit shallow. Pop through it. Nade actually does them in. If they cross with the smoke, they might have gotten a little bit more room and evaded Swisher's spray. Instead, though, the opener is found, this time yet again onto Infinite. Sonic trades it back, keeps it even, and now Malbs is stuck up a creek without a paddle. He needs to be very weary of several angles. He's holding towards the door. He has support from Slacks. Good opener from the op. Malbs, though, it's now your turn to activate. Doors swing open, both do, but he will still find success. 1 and 2 secured, a third spotted and sprayed away. Malbs secures the round with a hat trick, and now he's beginning to activate alongside Swisher and Slacks.
Well, if you have Slacks firing on all cylinders, that's a good thing for M80. You have Swisher firing on all cylinders, it's a good thing for M80. You have Malbs firing on all cylinders, it's a good thing for M80. Just one of those can be a win condition. But to have all three starting to heat up is incredible. When you have the rifling power, the headshot precision that Malbs has showcased over the course of his career so far, ending at least 1 year with the highest headshot percentage on HLTV out of anybody, you know he can be crispy. We just saw that in full form right there. 1, 2, 3, just a turret. Calm and collected each way. Swisher, he's a solid rifler, a very good rifler, in fact. And Slacks can be a very overwhelming opper to face from what we've seen in North America. He can suck the life out of a room. And if all three can show up for M80, Wildcard are going to be in a world of hurt, especially with Infinite on 0 kills to kick this one off. It's a Glock rush now for Wildcard as they have nothing but the stock pistols. We'll see if Dazed rears his head, though, here, Nate, because you know it's always possible with an APOP.
Especially with the close range, a variety of these fights. Luckily, everyone on M80 has helmets, however, so Glocks will be a 2, if not a 3-shot headshot. Up top should be first contact. There they come. He'll find 1, he'll find 2 with combined fire from Rek. The third in towards Mini. Fares no better. The last 2 down the vents, trying to get a bomb plant out of sheer desperation, but even that seems there'll be a little bit of luck required. Slight delays them probably long enough. The bomb does hit dirt. It is a big economic boon. No second kill secured, but 1 kill and a bomb plant is probably more than Wildcard should have expected in round number 5.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the Glocks. You can always find a way to get something done. And Wildcard were able to get a bomb plant, 1 kill. I'd say that's pretty darn good. So, good stuff there for Wildcard to keep things at least somewhat level economically on their T side. But the lead is starting to grow for M80. The first full gun round of this game is about to commence, though, Nate. And that's the thing. This is the first time we're actually seeing both sides with all the guns. And Slight doesn't even have a helmet or any utility. So it's not the best gun round for Wildcard. It is a good gun round, but it's not the most fantastic thing in the world. Infinite's going to burn down to 60 HP. That's a very good bit of Molotov damage for Swisher outside. And some bodies have been committed outside as well. A bit of a passive hold from Swish, though. And I think it's going to be more of a get information, get a kill, and just stay alive. He spotted players outside. He's going to go for the player on top of Silo. Sprays away. JBA will not fall down, though. And into the secret tunnels go Wildcard. 3 members marching down towards double doors. Malbs is here. He's on the ramp, and he gets demolished by Infinite. There's his first. Slacks trades out on his Stanislaw, the very least 4v4. A lot of damage done to Gage over on Wildcard. JBA still on Marshmallow, and he is no squishy target. Takes down 2, and it's a man advantage for Wildcard here as the bomb ticks away. Rek and Slacks debating a retake, and it looks like it will be save number 2 on the second round, which M80 will concede.
Yeah, no map control combined with an op in a man deficit situation trying to retake a site. Economy is okay for your team, but if one of you can survive and drop a weapon to Manx, that would be very much appreciated. It's a smart call to save for this one. Be prudent with your money. And of course, on Nuke, with the blast radius as it is, you have to call your saves very early because it takes a lot of time to get out of the radius, as you and I have become all too familiar with. There's across the map in order to survive. If you're anywhere near the middle of this map, even within 10 feet of the building, your life is forfeit if that bomb goes off.
Pretty much, yeah. It's brutal. And it's not the only map where it's like that, too. There's a few maps in CS2. I think Ancient is another one of them. Overpass to a certain extent as well. Vertigo, too. I mean, you're anywhere near the bomb. Night. But it's a bit of a swing round now. There's some money built up on a couple of players for each side, but it's not an overall strong setup. Stanislaw with the entry, but Rek holds tall from back silos. Traded back by JBA, who doubles it up. Swisher trying to creep through Mini. Has his chances at life destroyed, but a good nade from Malbs levels it up at 2 versus 2. Op and M4A1 on both sides, interestingly enough. Slacks will swap to the A1S. Debates making the noise, and elects it's better to go for the automatic fire. They know where he is, though. The noise and now the spray and the utility through. The flash does do nothing as Slight takes down his teammate. All up to the German op now. And Wildcard realized that they have a B-side open, and they're going to take that run down. Slacks will probably save here once he realizes what has just happened. And that is indeed the call. 2 rounds in a row for Wildcard, and an interesting economic decision to be made for M80 here. Slacks is a boatload of money, but nobody else besides Swisher really in the realm of mustering up a buy.
Swisher could get a lighter buy with anyone else and a lack of head armor. Rek could muster a FAMAS or an MP9, probably an MP9 knowing him. And Slacks could drop 2 rifles, maybe even 3. I don't know how much the loss bonus is. My math is not.
Second round loss, so it should be 1900.
1900 plus 6300. Oh, God, never do this on stream. 73, 82.
I want to say you're right.
What's 29 times 3?
29 times 3.
30
60
times.
plus 27. Yeah, you were right. 8200.
9 times 3. Let's see, 29. Round up to 30. Multiply by 3 is 90, and then minus 3 is 87. So 8700 would be the requirement.
He had 82. Your initial calculation was correct.
Okay, so he didn't have enough for 3 rifles. He didn't have enough for 2. Those will be dropped around. Banks will be the one for going a rifle for an MP9, not Rek. And Swisher will get that light buy with an M4A1S. Still overall convincing, but Wildcard's play has been very astute, especially in the early rounds. It felt like they were outclassing M80. M80, rather quick to adjust, at least responding well in the early goings. But now this is where Wildcard can really come into their own form. This is where Wildcard can begin to build a lead. Seal it away or tie it up in this one. And then from there, the economy of M80 is probably crushed. And it should be your half for the taking. Stanislaw out towards door, snuck through, found the opening on the Manx. That was the MP9 up top hut, dismantled. Next to bat is Swisher. He's been a menace outside, especially for finding openings and working these angles, but he's only found one, and there's a player in the smoke that he does not expect. He knows it's a possibility, but it's all on timing. Infinite, the next one walking in, and he has been unlucky in this full map thus far. He's caught by Swisher. Veteran player holding the right angle. Sonic gets one, falls back, trying to find the second, but Swisher is bringing his team through it. Wreck another. The last alive is Stan. He found the opener. He found it out towards door, but the rest of his squad, including the bomb, has fallen in the outside yard. No HP, no time, and no control. Means that he's going to have to try and wait out the last 30 seconds in a save. M80, a critical round to win, a critical round to keep players alive, and they do succeed in both endeavors. 3 surviving and a 5th on the board.
3 surviving is better than less than it would have been, and they keep the op alive as well, which is very critical. 2 players gone, not ideal, but for what it looked like Wildcard were going to win the round. Swisher pretty much bails them out, and then Rek chimes in with that extra, which minimizes their casualties to only 2. But it's a huge individual effort from Swisher around that garage smoke. That was a magnificent play. And if you're an outside player, what Swisher just did there is something you should kind of keep in the back of your mind as positioning, pathing, what to expect. That was so well done. That was perfection, the way he maneuvered around and gets M80 another 2-round lead, keeps Wildcard off of the tie. And Slight will have a scout in this one. Lack of utility is significant for Wildcard as well. Something fast on the cards, perhaps. Smoke nade busted down, Molotov to counter a rush, and Wildcard pump the brakes very early on with only 2 Molotovs, 2 flashes, and the smoke to work with the entire rest of the game, for the round rather. This is a very curious call to me, Nate, and it's going to rely on a lot of raw aim duels won for the T's if they're going to get anything out of this, and that's a nice little nade tossed in by Malbs just for good measure.
Yes, it is. Utility is smothering from M80, using it well, timing it well. Malbs repositioning in another unexpected way, going towards L. Slacks on the op, doesn't find anything, but Swisher and Malbs do. Malbs doubles down, tags a third quite low as well before finally falling. Swisher as well, securing his in the outside yard. The 2 remaining are Slight and JBA. They both have AKs, sure, but JBA is low. They have no utility. They have next to no control to show for it. Manx walking up the ramp might get caught by an off angle. Spots the barrel, and that should go him in. JBA won. A second secured on the spray transfer. He has been a star for the team, and this round is no different. He's put them back into a winning position, perhaps 2 versus 2. Bomb recovered. And now the B site, the target. The player towards decon door. And it swung open, if I'm not mistaken. JBA mulling towards double instead. Rek, though, isn't going to force the issue. Just going to throw utility and wait for his teammate to rotate through. Oh, just barely misses JBA walking by. Swisher now dancing towards double doors is heard swinging out. Tags him, but doesn't get the kill. JBA still alive, finally taken out. Slight, a 1 versus 2 ahead of him. He's playing the ramp. The bomb, is it planted from? I don't believe so.
It's Stralis plant.
Correct.
And the smoke's down.
Spam not connecting. Swisher swings. That is the round secured. M80, a 6th on the board, but none of these rounds are free. None of these rounds are convincing. They can go either way to the very bitter end. Wildcard have done a good job of making them contested, contentious. They're struggling to put rounds on the board in these critical rifle rounds.
First timeout now used by Wildcard. Each team using a timeout in the early going. And I'm not talking about the technicals. That has been behind us since round 1, thankfully. But a tactical pause here for the Wildcard side. And interestingly enough, it's not going to go into a full gun round either. They're limited in what they can afford. It's going to be pistol upgrades and armor for the most part for the Ts. And they've shown a tendency to go down through the vents. And I feel like a vent drop on this kind of a round is something very commonly called. And I don't think they can afford to do that here, given how often they have gone for the vent drop. Maybe a ramp play or even an outside blitz. Just try and overwhelm Swisher, pick up that gun, and see if you can pick up a second guy trying to come through and support him. That might be their best call here. They do have a Glock still on snipe, but a lot of utility and a slow-paced lobby default with the pistols here for Wildcard. And Manx is getting aggressive too. He might just give them an M4. Spots out one. That's the bomb drop instead. It could have gone so wrong for M80, but instead it goes so right for Manx. Now they can sit back, relax. They know what's up.
Yes, they do. You know it's pistols. Play your range. Play your angles. Play together. Spam here and there for good measure. Minute left. Wildcard. Again, deciding to slowly prod the outside yard. Swisher's been a menace here, but not sure he's lurking around now. Slacks instead is the one holding. Mentioned it's from Coat Room. I call it lockers. Whatever you so desire. Cross comes in. They're spotted, and Slacks will take one as a toll for the crossing as well. All 3 now down below. M80 hear the steps. They know it's probably going to be a B play, or at least a play towards the vents. And so they will adjust accordingly. M80, the goal is gone from winning the round to preventing a bomb plant. Hamstringing the T-side economy as much as you can. First caught by Mobs, second caught by Mobs. This position is his playground on the ramp. He'll find 2, and Slacks in the wings will find the 3rd. A succinct, a flawless round in round number 10 for M80, as they have begun to stabilize in a major way on this CT side. The wind is now fully in their sails, and Wildcard are beginning to come up against a wall.
They are coming up against a wall, but that does also leave the T side as the second half for M80 to try and close it down. Another timeout used as well for Wildcard. 2 in a row. And something we always talk about on our broadcasts, Nate, is that we always like to see the timeouts used going into a full gun round. Wildcard used one of their 3 timeouts going into a half buy. If they need a timeout late and they run dry, that could be a game changer moving forward.
It's good. I really want more T rounds, however. Keep in mind, this was their map pick. They should have expected to start on this side of the map. I would think that their hopeful aspirations were 5 or realistically 4, and right now they're still falling short of even that lower number.
And they didn't lose a single T round when they played Nouns on this map.
Oh, wow. That is a surprising fact. What a lineup, just to add insult to injury. Slacks finds 1, tags a second. Swisher chimes in. Sonic, team kills for good measure. His right, his wrong with a singular kill, but Slacks getting aggressive with the op is feeling it. Everybody on M80 is feeling it, might I add. The last alive is Stanislav. He's doing this cheeky angle. We saw it from JBA, 5 rounds prior? Spot the toes of one. Poking prod at Slacks. Now his position is known. Should be no world where he finds more than one in this situation. Upgrade to an AK. Not even going to do that. He's going to clear the close angles instead. In secret.
Timing.
Manx. Yeah, timing's everything, and timing does not appear to be in Stanislav's favor. Something changes here in the moment. Manx. Timing does favor Stanislav. Doesn't get quite aggressive enough. Stanislav good for one. Tags a second. Doesn't get the kill. This is a deadly crossfire, though. Slacks in towards the back of Garage. It's known this is a possibility. Tag through the wall, and a bag from Rec on the reversal. 8-3. One more round left in the half, and M80 looking to cap it off with a very solid 9-3 scoreline.
A 9-3 would be huge for M80. And in the very long pre-show, we both said that Nuke was where pretty much everything should be settled here. Ancient is a heavily favored map for M80. Actually, I'm looking at the veto screen up there up top. It's got the vetoes mixed around. It was Wildcard who picked Nuke, and M80 picking Ancient. And the pistol Mac 10 rush going to go in towards the A site. A spray from Manx yields nothing but damage. Rec will have to hold, but he gets swarmed by Stanislaw. 2 for the price of 1 here for the team side. A bomb plant imminent as well. Molotov's forcing Swisher into the fights, and Malbs has to back up his longtime teammate. Flashing in, Malbs clearing out, smoke in towards Mini. Slacks on the op, looking for a change to something with a little more close-range firepower. The 5-7 rather will tap away and take down one. Malbs jumping, misses Sonic creeping around. Now he might not see him. Sonic has the angle. Sonic just needs to spring his trap. The smoke fades, Malbs exits on towards the site. They will not expect Sonic here, but can Malbs strike? Backstab, in comes Slacks. One more 5-7, time is so low. Off is out, shot goes awry, and an 8-4 half here for Wildcard. They grab one back as we head to the halftime break.
Wildcard stemmed the bleeding in the final round of the first half with an aggressive play out towards A. Where was that aggression earlier on when they were truly struggling? That's the question. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic, and M80 now on the more difficult side of Nuke. It's the T side, and Slight on Wildcard will try to find an opener in towards Hut, but instead he'll find an early demise. Malbs a second onto Infinite, 2 kills going uncontested, untraded, and a 5 versus 3 commanding advantage going into the post plant. Malbs dancing around the site, Box finds nothing. JBA isolated, marooned out heaven. Still alive, but only just barely. JBA finds one, makes Malbs and Wreck, though, each chime in for one to secure the round for M80. 9-4 is the score, and Wildcard are swiftly running out of rope on map number 1.
That pistol round is critical. For Wildcard, it would have given them a leg back in. For M80, it's both pistol rounds in the same map. And with their lead already being commanding, it's even better for them now on the T side. And now you do say it's the more difficult side of Nuke, Nate. But M80 do have a slightly better T side on Nuke. A 59.5, oh, never mind. It is a slightly better T. I'm reading my stats completely wrong. It's 59.5 CT, 59% on T. That's
about equal.
Yeah, it's... What is this stack?
This is goofy. This is goofy. This is what I wanted to see.
I love it. I love this.
This is what I was hoping to see on a Pro 90 round. Ooh, Stanislaw. USP in the outside yard alone, then around to smoke. You might think he has no chance, but the surprise, the tenacity is totally disregarded. Hanks dropped, and as you mentioned, the double-double boost in towards A could catch out M80 if they go for a swing in towards mini.
Call it the double-double animal style?
I didn't add that second part, but the double-double does definitely have a ring to it. Swisher, 1-for-1 versus USPs. It's not quite a dazed moment, but it could very well be something similar. 3 versus 4. The Pistols trying to fight outside. This is where they'll struggle. Slacks, drop Sonic. Stanislaw, another unexpected angle, perhaps towards Tetris, is cleared. Last 2, JBA and Slight outside. Make that just Slight. It's a quiet first map. 1 versus 3, positioning probably expected as well. They'll be very lucky. He could, I guess, find a headshot onto Slacks. That's something, but even that seems like too much to ask for.
Well, he gets caught knife out, so no damage further coming from Slight as Wreck will put him down. The Galils clean up the mess, and that was definitely a mess in the beginning. But now it's time for the buy for Wildcard. MP9 for Infinite, M4A1s for everybody bar Stanislaw. Utility being purchased around, Stan stuck on nothing but a smoke. M80 still have their Galils. There are 2 players sans head armor, so at least those Galils can do significant damage against those. You have the AKs on Slacks and a Wreck as well. Wildcard are running out of racetrack, and they need a round here fast. They have spotted Wreck out, but did they expect to double up Sonic? He's kind of marooned out in garage. His Infinite burns alive. He has not been able to catch a break at all this game.
Where was he? He must have been old Vents.
I think so. I think he was second, yeah.
Spread Wreck, though. Timing on to 1. Sonic blind-sided. 3 versus 5. JBA, Slight, Stanislaw. A fleet of rifles. No kit. 2 players lacking helmets. That makes them extra squishy versus Galils. A little bit of utility thrown in for some luck. M80, what's the play? They're kind of just resting on their laurels at this point. They know Wildcard are the team that have to make the play, given the disparity in man count. Makes crosshair placement perfect. The Galil one-shot because there was no helmet. JBA, the next one to fall. The last alive is the IGL of Stanislaw. He's boosted up in ramp. He has an A4. He has a helmet, sure, but he's going to have to make noise dropping. Actually, he has no helmet, excuse me. The drop would seal his fate at this point. M80, an 11th. Seems like an inevitability. And from there, it's 2 rounds away from a victory on their opponent's map pick.
Slaw does get 1 on the exit, but only 1. His spray cannot finish off Manx. And thus an 11th round on the board for M80. Just last night, Wildcard posted a 13-3 victory on Nuke versus Nouns. M80 are 2 rounds away from doing almost the same to Wildcard. And with Ancient coming up, Nate, does not bode well for Wildcard here. Now, Wildcard did have a slow start against Nouns yesterday, too. The only thing is, it just seems that M80, everybody has awoken. Slacks, Swisher, Malbs, as I speak of it. JBA with a beautiful headshot onto the very same Guatemalan gunslinger. But Stanislaw has come through to maintain a man advantage for the CT side. He's upgraded to an AK as well. Things are getting a little awkward here for M80 as they're down a man, but only briefly. As Rek will add another one to his tally. He's having himself a great game too. 3 players at 15 kills, although Rek caught from behind by Slight. So these 5.7s, these pistols, able to upgrade into AKs. Stanislaw over on a ramp. Do they expect him here? Bullet will ricochet off the wall by him. Flash will not blind him. Destroyed by Manx, however. And that should free up a bomb plant here, but Sonic working in towards the ramp. Swisher back silo on the catwalk to that little headshot angle. So difficult to clear out without utility. Sonic does have the Molotov, but he'd have to expose himself to throw it. And time grinds to a halt here as everyone afraid to make a mistake. 2 versus 2, equivalent weaponry. Now it's timing. Sonic swings. There's one. Swisher knows where the last is as well. Grabs the bomb. 30 seconds to go. Flash out. Slight peeks. Molly in. Will he toss it towards Silo? Bomb recovered. Swisher's going to sprint towards A. Can he get there before Slight does? He should be fine. Oh, that puts a monkey wrench in Swisher's
That could have
plan.
been consequential. That could have been consequential.
Yep.
The flank there from Slight. If Slight went up heaven, that might have been the time he needed. Making up the vents, not expecting Swisher to be so far moved over towards old vent. That is a clutch one by Swisher, and a 12 on the board to match his 12 kills in this map. 12-4, commanding, I dare say, insurmountable lead at this stage. Wildcard need 8 in a row to get to overtime on their own map pick, and we said this series would live or die by this map. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and venture out and say it's going to die by this map. It feels like with a victory here, M80 should waltz their way to a victory on Ancient.
It might not be as clean, but it might be much of the same. It would be a complete just U-turn from what we usually get from these two teams. Rek will start things off nicely as Stanislaw tries to swing. Slight won't even take a shot as Rek runs him down as well. In goes JBA, and he's forced back by Flame. Swisher goes down to Infinite, however. And so we sit at a 4v3 with things starting to slow down a little bit. Rek's positioning out in ramp can be a nice little thorn in the side of Wildcard, something in the back of their minds to keep them from really looking at what might be happening. But Sonic going down makes it so much better for M80 as they look to steal away, not even steal away, just obliterate their opponent's map pick. You can't even call this robbery at this point. It's about taking candy from a baby with the scoreline. And all Infinite can do in a 1v3 is look nice with that blue knife and glove combo, because I don't think there's much of a chance he could pull this one off. And especially now that he's been spotted by Rek. Oh, the odds are not in his favor. Rek's just toying with him, waiting for reinforcements from the Flax. The fire will just burn him away and out of lockers. Outside he goes, and in he finds the final frag. 13-4 for M80. The map pick of Wildcard went up. Not even in smoke. Just disintegrated to dust.
Vanished without a trace. Wildcard, this pick